illegal. Let's go! Go back to Toronto! I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot!
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. And once you're done, leave a comment down below and I just might end up responding. If you pay your hard-earned money on food at a grocery store, you should be able to do whatever you want to do with the food. And you can. You can eat it, cook it up, toss it out a window, throw it down a trash compactor, or set it and your annoying girlfriend on fire. Those are almost all legal things that you can do. Similarly, if you buy a ticket to a WWE event per se, you can watch the wrestling, don't watch the wrestling. Now that I think of it, there's not all that much engagement going on, is there? Well, one thing you sure as hell can do at a wrestling event is chant. Chant to your heart's content. Even the shitty ones like, "This is awesome." Awful. Don't expect to always get away with the snarky comments unresponded to, though. I'm D-Wicked, and here's 10 times the wrestlers decided to fire back. Number 10, Roman Reigns. Despite Roman's push throughout 2015 to 2016 going about as well as trying to push a boulder through another boulder, WWE remained adamant and kept the strap wrapped tightly around the Rocket, blasting him off towards the moon, where he immediately Superman punches and causes a Thanos snap-level natural disaster with a... Where the hell am I going with this? Even though Dean Ambrose had won the WWE Championship the night before, Roman Reigns still had to make it all about him. To be fair, he was the champion just the night before, and there was also a champion in between Dean and Roman. A fun night, Money in the Bank 2016 'twas. Roman admittedly was out to congratulate his former Shield brother, but amidst the boos, Roman ended up taking a shot at the crowd.
All the dudes chanting that I can't wrestle, calm down, relax, take a sip of your beer and shut your mouth.
Number 9, Shane McMahon, CM Punk chants. What a concept. Can you imagine just how beloved you have to be and how controversy of an exit you have to make from WWE to remain a consistent replacement of the boring chant for well over 5 years? Truly an impressive feat. Second maybe only to how impressive it is that there's only been like 2 good comebacks to the CM Punk chants within those 5 years. They started to catch on around 2015, but it was always someone like Stephanie who had it chanted her way, and she was usually pretty bad at handling it. So naturally, when Steph gets it wrong, Shane gets it right with the simplest possible response.
I don't believe he's in the tournament.
Number 8, Alexa Bliss. While CM Punk chants have dominated and annoyed WWE audiences for the last half-decade, it doesn't even hold a candle to the detriment Stone Cold accidentally created when he uttered that famous question.
With 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers.
The early to mid-2010s saw the resurgence and brunt of this barrage, with "what?" chants filling arenas between pointless attempts of WWE superstars trying to get their point across. When Alexa Bliss was greeted with the same chants in the latter half of 2017, she played the crowd with an old classic.
Winning just becomes easy. If you're a failure, say what? My point exactly.
Number 7, Batista. Look, you guys, professional wrestlers, they got it pretty hard, especially in the WWE. You wake up, you eat something, you train for a couple hours before risking your body for entertainment purposes just to travel to another city, and you start it all over again. Wrestling on a near nightly basis all year round with no breaks or vacation can really be taxing on the body and, more importantly, the mind. Wrestlers are people too, you guys, even the bad ones that we all want to boo. And sometimes, just sometimes, your hurtful, disrespectful, absolutely uncalled for comments slips through the cracks of their skulls. We call them ears here at Watch WWE. And when they hear those unkind words, well, sometimes they just...
Back it up! Now count! I hate you too! Get at the official.
Number 6, The Miz. Another potential victim of the venomous verbal piranhas known as "what?" The Miz proved his mic skills when he let the "what" chants build up slowly before tearing them down with a herd of ducks. Just a bunch of ducks. This is probably Miz's best career work. The crowd did their thing and tried ruining a great thing in the making before Miz shut them all soundly. It might not be the greatest line, but his delivery and facial expressions and his just intensity gives this some real conviction. God bless the Miz.
You all sound like a bunch of ducks! What? Shut up while I'm talking!
Number 5, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. I'm officializing it. Shawn Michaels might be the best in-ring performer, Brett or Bryan the best technician, Undertaker maybe has the best character, etc. But Chris Jericho is the greatest at reinvention, crowd interaction, and longevity, and those are the three most important features of a pro wrestler. Yeah, promos, in-ring work, those are vital, but they're kind of necessary for longevity, obviously. And with his latest incarnation as Le Champion Audebable, Y2J20 for president has proved exactly why his reinvention constantly leads to such fan involvement and has given his career such longevity. It's because he's goddamn great. Here's some proof.
Calm down for 1 second. We the people sucks and it's dead and buried.
Number 4, Seth Rollins. He might somehow now be the least liked former Shield member heading into the new decade, but for a long time, especially during the Shield days, Seth sort of became both de facto leader as well as the most popular Shield boy. Makes sense, the dude was billed as the architect of the Shield after all, and his Tyler Black run from the indies beforehand gave him plenty of pre-WWE acclaim and experience to help get himself over from the very beginning, plus first NXT champion and all that malarkey. Combine this with some great mic skills and a little bit of creativity, and you've got one of the best CM Punk chant put-downs of the 21st century. It is kind of genius. Instead of attacking the crowd or really Punk, just reaffirm your buddy instead.
That's Dean Ambrose right there.
Number 3, Christopher Jarrett. Chris Jericho. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. The Jericho has come back, scuttling as desperately as it could to get the hell out of the arena. AEW really needs to stop using animals during their live shows. Anyway, Christopher Grace was Venom for some reason. Jericho has been dominating that crowd interaction game ever since his WCW days, as proved by this awesome little back and forth he had with a fan during an episode of SmackDown. After some stupid idiot of an audience member yelled at Chris to go back to Toronto, Y2J quickly came back at the man's throat, correcting his misinformed Canadian origins.
It's all legal. Let's go! Go back to Toronto! I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot!
Number 2, CM Punk. Well, I keep talking about fan interaction and Chris Jericho together, but that might have been the one thing Punk truly had over him and truly had mastered, that and, promos. When you're so damn good at talking that you can hook an entire wrestling audience, some of the most fickle in the universe, and have them attentively listening on your every last word to the point where your pipe bomb breaks into the mainstream, well, that right there is talent, my friends, and said talent was used well in said pipe bomb, as Punk proved he was worth every penny he was bargaining for, managing the rare heel promo that receives a babyface reaction and firing shots at the crowd just like he did the McMahon family.
You are just the biggest part of me leaving as anything else, because you're the ones that are sipping out of those collector cups right now.
And, of course, number 1, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Who else to top a list of wrestling personalities firing back at their own audience? Speaking of that inescapable family, here comes the head honcho, making his way down to ruin all of your smarky hopes and smarky dreams. And honestly, even though it's very casual and a very simple chant, and it's sort of linked to the most popular era of wrestling, you get the idea. There's nothing that feels smarkier than the what chant. Getting even the tiniest bit bored from a promo and you feel like just completely ruining the timing and the momentum and the confidence of a performer, hit them with the most devastatingly chanted 5 characters since D-Generation X, and you'll have a promo halted and that wrestler's confidence brick-walled after just a couple questions. But, of course, when it comes to shaking Vince, you've got no chance! No chance in hell!
And if you're an imbecile and you're from Hartford, you'll say, that's my point.
And those are 10 times WWE superstars fired back at the audience. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below. After liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and notifications, ain't that